Hey, shalom, shalom, anak na waha bar shalom. Hawalakim la dam, call shabuai, baharcha, wakak shaw, Yahweh bahasham, Yahweh shah, ma'amat, which is truly, hey, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh bahasham, Yahweh shah, to preach to so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. Nachang matam, kaya malakot hashamayim, quora repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call layim la, Yahweh bahasham, Yahweh shah, bahasham racha, hakodash. Wa mashana kabadim zukaim nawa. Wa malaakim shoy shla zukaim racha gada wa chasa wa shalom wa barakim. Laha bachrim shoha kawaya shah shalom. Alright, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahasham, in the name Yahweh Shai delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. All right, so I just want to go into some articles on RT. All right, I'm going to start from the top. So it says, U.S. must prepare for war with China and Russia. All right, which that is Babar, which is the U.S., and then China is Mawa'abawa Ra'ashar, which is Russia. All right. So I'm going to get a quick precept. This is Yeshaya Isaiah chapter 19, and we'll get Salat. This is Matthew chapter 24. We'll get verse 7. It says, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All right, we say nation against nation, Russia, China versus the U.S. All right, Taiwan, China. All right, Israel, Hamas. All right, and many, many more. It says, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All right, we're seeing, various different types of these. We're seeing literal famines, and then also, what I'm calling a war famine. You see, we're pretty much, you got different nations pretty much putting a stronghold on supply lines of, other nations, in order to get a more advantageous position, and make the other side weaker. All right, I'm actually get that too. Let me scroll down. And right here, you got India and China in talks to resolve border dispute. Wars and rumors of wars. You go into the word wars, it goes into disputes. Encounters. So we seeing those things. All right, it's a lot. Which this whole Israel and Hamas thing, that's nothing more than a proxy war, because pretty much you got the bigger guys, going up against each other. All right, or you got the bigger the superpowers pretty much being involved in these proxy wars, because they don't want to come out and they don't want the masses to view them in a certain light. They got their own reasons to why they're doing proxy wars, you see. But right now, it's at the stage of a proxy war, but eventually it's gonna go into a full-blown war. All right, let me actually go to the point that I was talking about, though. It says no water for Aiza, Kaya Aiza. All right, Gaza is Aiza, Bahalashwan Kodash in the Holy Tongue. It says no water for Gaza, Israeli Prime Minister. And, who's in Aiza? All right, Hamas. It says Yasha'Allah's siege of Aiza will not be lifted unless Hamas releases all hostages it has captured. Energy Minister Yasha'Allah Katz announced on Thursday his statement came after Yasha'Allah, or Israeli, I don't want to call him Yasha'Allah because, they're gutter rats. It says Israeli authorities cut off water, fuel, and electricity to the Palestinian enclave following a surprise attack by Hamas militants on Saturday. So that's, a famine of water, fuel, and electricity. That's why I was calling the war famine, because pretty much in order to, how exactly would you win a war? You know, they got the saying, all is fair in love and war, and you know, in Esau's world, you know. So what he'll do is, you know, he'll cut the supply routes, because without supplies, you know, you can't eat. You know, you're not getting, you know, a meal. You know, you're not getting ammunition. You know, that's pretty much how this devil plays. You know, it says, I'm gonna keep going. Let's get another one. So like it says, the Israel-Hamas conflict so far, all right? Hamas terror attack on Yasha'Allah was not unprovoked. It says, since Hamas surprise attack on the Israeli people on Saturday, the world has been painfully divided. And that's pretty much what they at least wanted to bring. You know, they want to bring division. It says, the West is using a tried and tested catchphrase for the Israel-Palestine conflict, all right, in which, you know, that can be likened to, you know, how the elites want division. You know, it says, because when we seen they came with the female in Iran, you know, she didn't want to cover up her hair, you know, so they came with that. They brought those issues over here, you know, so they pretty much do the same thing. Push forth division. It says, since Hamas surprise attack on the Israeli people on Saturday, the world has been painfully divided. While there is no question that terrorism and deaths of innocent civilians are never an acceptable means of attaining political goals, when it comes to the context, there are two wildly divergent takes. You see, so that's essentially, you know, what the elites wanted to bring forth. All right, then also you have, it says, IOC suspends Russian Olympic Committee. All right, so it's a lot of world news going on, because the Olympics, that brings forth money. All right, that brings forth it's another one that this devil's distractions. All right, this is one of their big games. You know, it ultimately goes back to an idol, and presumably they probably do a lot of witchcraft around this time. You know, with all the world nations coming together. You see, but it's postponing, or it's been postponed. It's been suspended. All right, because right now, you know, the world, well, I'm going to read it. It says, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, has decided to suspend the Russian Olympic Committee until further notice over the ongoing conflict between Moscow and Kyiv. All right, so it's too much stuff going on, you know, pretty much in a nutshell. That's what they're saying. All right, so let's get another one. Let's get verse 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." That was Matthew 24:6. All right, and this word wars, all right, which goes into battles. It's a lot. Blue that acting up. It goes into battles, but then also, you know, small disputes. You know, we just got the thing with China. It says, fight, a battle, dispute, strife, quarrel. All right, so a dispute is like, you know, China going to the Indian border. You know, they had their little dispute that we just read on the in the RT. All right, let's continue on. It says, U.S. won't fight for Israel. It says, France cracks down on pro-Palestine protesters, and that's what all we see: Israel, Israel, Israel. That's because pretty much, you know, this devil is trying to play the victim. All right, and that's what he does. Let's get that real fast, you know, because no matter how you slice it, Esau always finds a way to bring in that left hand. All right, this is the Holium Psalm, chapter 144. Let's get verse 13. It says, verse 11. It says, "Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children." You know, it says, "Whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood." So they rely on that deception. All right, because bringing in all of this, you know, these proxy wars and different conflicts is pretty much causing people to pick a side. All right, division, because they want to bring in their NWO. You know, but nevertheless, continuing on, it says Isaiah warns health system on brink of collapse. U.S. must prepare for war with China and Russia. All right, but I just want to get those articles because we're in a time of WW3. Let's get that. This is Revelation. Salah. This is Revelation chapter 9, and we'll get verse 12. It says, "One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter." All right, you had World War I, all right, where there was a lot of death. All right, then you had World War II, there was a lot of death. I believe the second one had more death. And World War III, all right, it's going to be way more death. You see, the scriptures actually go into that as well. Let's get that. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. This is Second Isaiah, also Ezra chapter 16, and we'll get verse 33. Verse 32 says, "And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old." It says, "And her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through." You see, because the scripture go into how a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So it's not going to be heavily trafficked like it is now. It's not going to be a lot of movement. All right. And then also because being that it's no travel, a lot of these, the streets and the different paths that, people travel on, a lot of that is going to be filled with vegetation. All right. So it's going to be thick vegetation, It says, "Because no man shall travel there through. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. And the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine." All right. So in the wars, all right, in that World War III, all right, which we're pretty much coming up into, all right, which it has started, but it hasn't been full blown to where nukes is being shot off. Right now we're seeing those proxy wars because everybody's taking sides, But I don't want to zaza about Nayapa. Lord's will, that was a beautification to the spirit. Wa I don't want to zaza atam yashi wam to wa. Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, Lord's will, you have a good night. Hey, shalom.